What is up, guys? I am Belamy and welcome back to episode 6 of the Prime Survival series. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're not going to be focusing too much on our village and our farms like we have been the last 5 episodes. I was planning on doing a few upgrades in the village today, but instead of that, we actually have decided that we might go do some actual mining in an episode today. Since, this is Minecraft, and I figured, we should probably do a little bit of mining. And although I've done a little bit of digging off in the mountains over in the savannah over there for the little bit of iron that I've collected, I would like to try and find some diamonds today. So that is the end goal of today's video. We're going to be finding diamonds, whether it takes me 20 minutes or 5 hours. I will find myself some diamonds for you guys. And yeah, we're going to give you guys a few tips on how to actually find yourself some diamonds. But before we get into that, we're going to do a little bit of an update of the things that we've been working on the last couple of episodes. So before we go over and show off a few things, I'm going to go ahead and sleep here so it is daytime, because we don't want to be messing around with creepers and things like that when we're trying to show off what we've been doing. So the last few episodes, we worked on a few farms. We have our cane farm in the distance, and our pumpkin farm, which we did a few episodes ago, and then we have our wheat farm, which is looking quite nice over there on the hill, if I do say so myself. We can see our scarecrow. That is not quite scary just yet. We will get there. And then we have our sheep and cow farms. Now, the cow farm, as you can see in my inventory here, I have quite a few steaks, so I've already farmed myself a couple of these cows. I can go ahead and breed them up a little bit more now, but I think I got quite enough in there. I'm going to be getting calls from animal rights activists if I go any further here. But same with my sheep, I got quite a few here, and that obviously means that we have quite a bit of wool. And the same thing with our cane farm here. We've got quite a lot of cane growing. I'm not going to go ahead and harvest them right now because I've already got way more than enough sugarcane. And we have pumpkins that are almost fully regrown at this point. We can harvest them whenever we're ready as well. But I'll show you guys, I've harvested each of these a few times each now. You can see we got quite a lot of sugarcane. I got almost 2 entire chests full of sugarcane. A nice few stacks of pumpkins, which is great. We have dirt from clearing out and some wool. And then we have seeds and just wheat from our wheat farm. Now, I don't have as much wheat as what you might think, because I've been feeding a lot of it to our sheep. And I've also traded a little bit of it to our villagers. But we're not going to talk about villager trading just yet today. We'll get into that in a future episode. That won't be too far off, though, so look forward to that if that's something you want to learn about. What we're going to be doing today is, like I said earlier, we're going to be finding diamonds. And instead of just digging a random hole in the side of a hill or in straight down at any point, we're actually going to do a little bit of decorating in our village here. So I would like to have a kind of mine entrance, and I've decided to pick this corner of the village because there's not too much villager activity over here, so they're not going to wander into the hole that I create over here and get themselves lost, hopefully. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dig a little mine entrance right here, and we're going to head down into the mine and dig off of that. So what we're going to do, I think I got a bit of an idea in my mind of how this is going to look. But it's only going to be a small mine. It's going to be ideally to get us down to our diamond level, which we'll explain shortly. But let's see, how wide do I actually want this to be? I'll start with the center in line with this block here, because I think it'll look nice that way. And I'm going to go ahead and dig down a couple blocks here out of the dirt. And we're going to try and make this look like a kind of abandoned mine shaft is what the goal is going to be. But we'll wait and we'll just see how this is going to turn out here. So I'm going to go ahead and dig a little bit more of this away. How tall do we want this to be ideally? If we want it to be, we're going to dig a 2x2 downwards. So we might go 1 level deeper here. So we'll go ahead and dig that away. And we'll dig this one away as well. So we'll get a shovel out here. Dig that like so. And we'll get rid of this one as well. So I think that's not bad. I could eventually put stairs here, but for the time being, what we're going to do is... Actually, no, we'll dig this one back just to give us a little bit more room to work with. And then I think what the idea here is going to be is we're going to have a 2x2. So we'll imagine we're going to start digging downwards from there. So this 2x2 space is going to be the entrance to our cave or our mine. So what I want to do is I want to take some acacia slabs, keeping in with the theme of our acacia wall and our bridge, and kind of make a frame around this to kind of make it out as if, there's been a mine shaft here that is, struggling to stay standing. So I'm going to be using a combination of fence pieces and slabs to kind of pull this off here. But I think what we might do is we'll place that one like that. Do we want one on top of... Yeah, we'll have to have one on there so that actually looks semi-realistic. Actually, what we could do is we could break this one out, like so. And then we can go ahead and put a slab here and a slab there, and then potentially another slab here. But instead of doing it exactly identical on this side, I could make it a little bit less symmetrical like so. And then, I mean, that doesn't look terrible as it is, like straight off the bat. It just kind of looks like a mine entrance, essentially. I could make this a little bit, more... That doesn't look terrible, honestly. I think that looks pretty good, just straight off the bat. I could try and make this a little bit thicker here, like so. I don't know if I preferred it the first way or if I prefer it this way. Yeah, I think I preferred it the first way. So I'm going to go ahead and break these and just place those two like so. I quite like that. Now, I could remove another level out the side here and just kind of fill that in. But I half don't mind the way that this looks. Now, could I actually place this here? How's that going to look? That doesn't look terrible, honestly. What do you guys think? What if I filled in the back one here just a little bit more? Yeah, I like that a lot better, actually. I think this looks pretty good. Yeah, I'm kind of into that. So then I can just go ahead and put put a torch on here. No, I can't put a torch. I put a torch there. I can't put a torch on the side of these gates. I can't put a torch there either because it is not quite big enough. I can put a torch maybe on top of there. That'll keep the entrance lit nicely. It's not ideal. I think what what I could do is I can go ahead and build one lantern. I have a little bit of iron. I shouldn't be doing anything frivolous like this. I have a crafting table here, actually. I can go ahead and get some nuggets and create a lantern for myself. And then I think if I mean, this might not be quite tall enough. Yeah, it's not going to be tall enough for me to actually hang a lantern off of, sadly. So it's not going to be doable, because I could hang a lantern here, which if it was one higher would actually look pretty good. But obviously I won't be able to pass past this. So I could, in fact, actually just dig this one lower here, and then potentially just make it slightly higher, and then that way the lantern will be passable, so I could walk straight past the lantern. In fact, what I could do is I could take the lantern here and I could make this one deeper. So let's go ahead and dig this out. One more level here. So it's going to have a slightly longer bit of stairs, but that's no drama. Dig this out, and then we'll dig out this last little bit down here. And of course there's a little bit of coal there. That's pretty cool. And I can either hang it... Oh, that's not my lantern. That is my fencing. I can either hang the lantern here above the entrance, or I can hang it on the... let's go ahead and break that down. Or we can hang it here like we had it originally. And then obviously extend these little bits here. Let me get rid of the coal here because that'll look a bit funky. Cobblestone... Doesn't matter, and fill that little bit in there like that. And that could be our entrance to the mine. Now, just to make it a little bit less symmetrical, let's try and, since it's a little bit higher now, we'll go ahead and take our planks back out and see if we can't just make it look a little bit less even here. So we'll take this bottom one out here, and we'll place that one there like that. Now, I think that looks not half bad, if I'm honest. Yeah, I think that looks okay. It's a little bit crazy and wild, but let's dig out this little bit here and this one piece of dirt here, and actually just fill in a little bit of this with some wood, just so it looks like a bit more of a entrance per se. Yeah, I quite like that. I think that looks just fine, honestly. And then this is where we're going to dig our mine from. So it'll dig straight into there. I think, clunky as it is, I think that looks quite good. We could go ahead and make a acacia pathway down into there. I'm not sure if I want to do acacia, if I can just, or if I should just turn, make some stone stairs down into there, or maybe some stone brick stairs later on. But for the time being, I think this will do just fine. So we'll just leave these dodgy looking stairs here for the time being. And then maybe later on I'll replace it with some nicer looking stairs. Potentially some stone brick in the area. Or if I find a better material, maybe while I'm mining, I can use that. But what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go and start digging down from here and turn this into one of our bigger mines. But we're going to go looking for diamonds. But before we do that, we want to make a couple preparations, because there's a few things you really want to take with you when you go down mining or caving looking for diamonds or whatever material you might go looking for. So first thing, I'm actually going to clear out some inventory space here because I got quite a lot of dirt in my inventory. I can get rid of this iron nugget. I have quite a lot of torches. I highly recommend you bring as many torches as you might find necessary. I can get rid of these fence pieces here. Where was I storing them? Fence pieces in there. I have a little bit of sugarcane here left over. You can see here real quick that I have got quite a few emeralds already from trading paper and pumpkins and things like that to the villagers. We'll talk about that in a future episode. But for now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a little bit of preparation before we go down. So the few things that I highly suggest you bring with you when caving or mining is, first, obviously, food. You want to have a good supply of food so you don't starve or go hungry while you're down there. You want to have torches to light your way, and then obviously all of your tools that you're going to need while you're down there. So for me, I got two iron pickaxes, which should be hopefully enough, and then I have this golden pickaxe that I actually found at one of the spawned nether portals or broken nether portals with mending on it. Now, the golden pickaxes are something you should never actually craft. The only reason I have this golden pickaxe is because it actually mines at a similar speed to diamond pickaxes. However, it will break really quickly. But since it has mending on it, it means that I can mine things like coal, which give experience, which mends the golden pickaxe, which means that I can use it essentially infinitely if I only mine things such as coal. So I've kept it for that purpose because I can just mine coal slightly faster, which is nice. And I also have these two pieces of golden armor that I got from that same broken nether portal that I found while looking for my village, and I'll be wearing them while I go caving. Simply because, I may as well use them since I found them and they were completely free, and they do have enchantments on them. So the chest plate actually has protection 4, which is essentially resistance to damage that I will take. So if I get hit by an arrow, not only will the armor be protecting me, but the enchant will give me further protection on top of that. So, since I don't have any trousers or a helmet, I'm going to go ahead and take some of my iron, and I'm going to go ahead and make that. So to make a helmet, you make a simple upside down U shape like so, and you get yourself a helmet. If you want to make a body armor, if you weren't like me and you didn't find yourself one, you can go ahead and make a complete box like that and just miss the headpiece there, or where you can imagine your neck would be, and that makes a chest plate. And to make trousers, which we actually need, you'll do a full upside down U shape like that, so just slightly bigger than the helmet. And then if you want some boots, which I don't actually need just yet, you'll do 2 side by side like that, and you'll get yourself a pair of boots. But since we got that, we're going to go ahead and mix and match. We'll have a little bit of silver, a little bit of a little bit of gold. But we're looking we kind of look like we just stepped out of the thrift shop. So we have some bit of armor to protect ourselves. That's great. We're going to actually make one more thing to protect ourselves, and that is a shield. So to make a shield, you place 1 iron ingot, and then you want 6... Oh, forgive me, I need to put that up. And then you get 6 planks, like so, and make this pattern right here, and you can get yourself a shield. And you can go ahead and equip that shield into your left-hand slot, and then anytime you hold right-click, you can block any incoming damage, which can save you from a lot of things, such as skeleton arrows. It can protect you from creeper blasts as long as you're facing the right direction and holding the block down. And yeah, the shields are just great to have in pretty much every scenario. There's no reason to not have a shield, honestly. And the last thing that you want is going to be some wood. It doesn't matter what kind of wood, in what form, as long as it's either logs or planks, because whatever situation you may find yourself in when you're down in a cave, if you have logs or wood, you'll be able to craft your way out of it. So if you run out of mining equipment, you can go ahead, make a crafting table, make some sticks, make yourself an axe, and then dig your way out. You can also make sticks to make more torches with the coal that you found in the mine. There's a lot of different uses for your planks if you're down in the mines. And the last thing is to get yourself a bucket. And I have an infinite water source right here that actually just got frozen by my golden boots that I found because they have Frostwalker, which turns water into ice. This will defrost here in a second. And I'm going to go ahead and bring a bucket of water with me, simply because it can help protect you from lava, which we will show when we get down into the cave. So I'm going to go ahead and put my boots back on right now, and we're going to go and start digging down into our cave. Now, when finding diamonds or looking for diamonds, you actually have to dig quite deep. Now, if I press F3 on my keyboard here, it will bring up this, I don't know what you would actually call it. I like to call it my cheat sheet. But essentially, if you look just on the left-hand side of the screen there, we have, in the second paragraph, we have X, Y, Z, and then a bunch of numbers. So for right now, we are at X minus 2003. We're at Y 68 and Z minus 1835. Now those two numbers, the X and the Z figures, are quite large because I ran a very large distance away from my starting area. When you spawn in, you'll actually be at 0, probably at 60 something, and then 0. But I've moved quite a fair distance trying to find my village here. So, but the 68 is what we want to pay attention to. You can see our Y value, which is the 68, is actually moving up and down while I jump. 68 essentially means you're 68 blocks above bedrock, or the bottom of the world. So in order to find diamonds, we need to be within about 6 blocks above bedrock and about 16. So basically, if you're below 16 blocks above the base, you'll have a chance at finding diamonds. So we need to dig ourselves down quite a fair way. So we're going to go ahead and start digging with our mine here, and we're going to dig in a fashion like so, where we're going to take in front of us and dig 3, and then dig down 1, 3, down 1, 3, like so, and that's going to create ourselves a stepped path downwards. So pretty simple, downwards 3, and then we continue this pattern until we get down. Now while we're doing this, if we're lucky, we'll be able to find ourselves a naturally formed cave that we can explore. Otherwise, we'll be able to get down and then just dig tunnels until we run into either diamonds or something that is worth exploring. Now, in that regard, you want to be able to, a good trick that I like to use, that a lot of people like to use, is actually to come into your settings and go into your chat settings, I believe it is in, and you want to turn your, where is this? I forget where it is now. Okay, so you want to come into your accessibility settings and show subtitles. Now this is going to give you a small chat box down the bottom right hand corner of the of your screen here, and you see when I'm moving, it says footsteps in the bottom right. That's because I'm hearing footsteps. If I place anything, it should, if I break a block, for example, it will say block broken, footsteps, item plops, that kind of stuff. So it basically will give you a list of all the things that are happening within your radius. So, and it basically shows you everything that you're hearing. So we can use this in a very interesting way. If we're tunneling down and we happen to hear lava or see lava show up in the subtitles on the right hand side, we know, hey, there's lava nearby. We need to tread carefully. We need to make sure that we're digging nice and slowly and be on guard, because if you happen to dig into lava, you need to be ready to either throw a bucket of water on it or throw a block over it to protect yourself. So it's a good way to keep yourself safe, and not only that, it's also a good way to find other caves and things like that, because if we start to approach a cave, we'll most likely start to hear things like other monsters, flowing water, things like that, and that means that we can kind of work towards the sound when we do get to that point. Now you see here that I'm actually using my golden axe. It mines quite a bit faster on the coal, and because it's mending, the XP that I'm getting is just keeping it at full durability. that is an enchantment that just happened to spawn on it when I found the axe. We'll talk a lot more about enchantments in a future episode when we go to use our villagers to kind of farm ourselves appropriate enchantments for all of our gear. So look forward to that later in the series. But mending is a very, very useful enchantment that we will most likely put on all of our farming tools in the future, because as you can tell, it's very, very useful because you can essentially keep a tool forever if you're consistently getting experience for certain things. And you'll notice that while I'm doing this, I'm trying to keep the tunnel as lit as possible because I don't want any monsters spawning either behind me or above me and going out and terrorizing my villagers, since this mine is connected to my village. So I just make sure that I keep it nice and lit as I go, not only because I want to be able to see, but also to protect myself from the monsters. So let's go ahead and we'll press F3 again and we'll check at what depth we're at. We can see we're at depth level 31. I know it is quite a wall of text. I will try and highlight it in the video for you guys. And we're going to keep on digging down here because we want to get below level 16. Now, if you look online, a lot of people will tell you different things when it comes to looking for diamonds. They'll tell you, this level is the best level to go to, or this level is the best level to go to. For me, myself personally, I just like to go to smack bang in the middle of about 6 and 16, and I go to like 9 or 8 or somewhere like that. And other times, depending on how I'm feeling, I might even go even further down. And I'll look for, I'll go all the way down to like 6 or 7. Right, but quickly before we go any further, I actually heard a spider nearby. It's not making any sound anymore, so I can't actually make my way towards where the spider was. So we're just going to keep digging down, but we're going to keep our ears open because if we hear any more spiders, we might try and dig towards them. Now, I may have just been hearing things, but I think I actually just heard flowing water as well. I didn't see it in the I didn't catch it in the yeah, I hear flowing water. See, you can see in the subtitles on the right there, we see water flows. That means we have some water nearby. So what we're going to do is, it kind of sounded like to my right up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and dig in this direction and try and find this water, because most likely if we find okay, yeah, there we go. See, we found a cave. Perfect. All right, so I'm going to grab this iron here real quick, and we're going to throw some light down here. Let me grab this iron, because that is one of the big things we're looking for other than diamonds. And I'm going to put what I like to do when I dig out of my cave into a natural... Oh, that is a creeper. So we're going to go ahead and just block and show you guys how the shield works here. You see I didn't take any damage from the actual creeper exploding in front of me because I had my shield raised. That gave me a bit of a scare just now. But what I was about to say is if I'm not going to get snuck up on by another creeper. I just heard another thing move just there. So what we're going to do real quick is I'm just going to light this so I don't get another sneak attack raised on me by a creeper. But what I like to do, weird bug there, what I like to do when I come out of my actual tunnel into a naturally formed cave is I like to kind of frame the exit that I took with torches. Now, it's a bit over the top, but since I can be a little bit blind sometimes, I like to kind of do this. Just because it's easy for me to find my way back to this little part of my cave if I get a little bit lost when searching the natural cave, if that makes sense. So this is actually quite a bit of a ravine, so we need to be careful here because sometimes monsters can spawn above and drop down. That's potentially what happened with that creeper just now. But I can hear a zombie. We're just going to keep moving up this way and keep this lit. Now, quickly before we move on, we're at depth level 25, so we're not quite at the level where we can find diamonds just yet. So it may not actually be worth exploring any further into this mine just yet. But since this spider doesn't really seem to be bothered with us, but we're going to grab this iron here real quick. Very nice, a pretty good vein of iron. Now I want to collect as much iron as possible while doing this because I'm going to need quite a lot of it when it comes to building some of my things in the future of this series. So ideally I want to have as much of it as on hand as possible when the time comes that I need it, so I don't have to go out of my way to farm extra iron. Now, It doesn't look like our ravine here is going to actually go down any further, so we're not going to be at diamond level. But it is a great find, and hopefully when we come back and looking for iron, we'll explore the rest of this cave in a future episode. But for the time being, we want to get down to below level 16, so we can find ourselves some diamonds, hopefully. So let's go ahead and dig down a few more levels here. And who knows, maybe once we get it down a bit lower, we'll be able to find ourselves another naturally formed cave, which will be a great way to get our hands on some diamonds. And it looks like there is actually one just here. Now, it's a good thing I didn't just drop straight down into this, because that could have potentially been lava. And, oh my god, there is diamonds right in front of us as we break into it. So, we're going to go ahead and get rid of this zombie here, because he is stopping us from getting towards our diamonds. And I'm going to build down there. That's actually incredible. It may only just be one block of diamonds, so it may not be the best luck in the world. But it is diamonds, and we found it the instant we got down to the level we needed to. So if I can just deal with all of these guys. See, we don't actually mind a creeper exploding, because it may reveal more diamonds. And we'll get rid of this spider too, so he doesn't bug us while we're trying to get our diamonds. Now, it doesn't look like this goes any further. There's a bit of gold there. That's great. Diamonds, how beautiful. Alright, so before we pick up our diamonds, we're just going to light a little bit more of this cave up so we don't get snuck up on, because it seems to be a running theme in this episode so far. Alright, it looks like it sounds like there's lava below us. Above us. You can see the kind of particles from that dropping down, and you can hear lava pops in the subtitles just on the right hand side of the screen there. So what we're going to do is, to safeguard our diamonds, is we're going to dig out around them completely, because we don't want them falling into lava. And as I do this, we see that there is actually quite a few diamonds here. This is great. Alright, so what I like to do, especially early on when I really want my diamonds and I don't want them to go to waste in any way, shape or form, is I like to fully dig out around them, just to make sure that there's no lava around them or below them that's going to cause them to be destroyed. I think this is a pretty common practice among Minecraft players for an obvious reason, and we're just going to completely clear this out, and it looks like they're perfectly fine, and we have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 diamond blocks here. So that is actually a great find with only the 1 diamond exposed. So this is great, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to mine these. So we have diamonds, so we'll get the advancement, finding our diamonds. Very good. Amazing. Alright, I'm super stoked about that. It took way less time than I was expecting it to actually find ourselves some diamonds. Let's see. I started recording this video about 28 minutes ago, so you know, that was us doing a little update and building our mine entrance and digging down and then finding diamonds almost immediately, so that's pretty great. So yeah, we have our 6 diamonds. Now, ideally, right now, I would suggest that you immediately go back to the surface and safeguard your diamonds, but I'm feeling a little bit lucky here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and move on. Now, we found a little bit of redstone here, which, if you're not familiar, is a very useful resource in Minecraft. It is essentially an electrical stone. I don't know how you want to refer to it, but it is essentially a way to create electrical circuits and contraptions. You'll see we'll be using redstone quite a fair bit in future episodes in this series. It'll be a very commonplace for us in the Minecraft universe. But we're going to explore just the rest of this little cave right here, because we are still at diamond level. We're below level 16 here. It is going slightly up, so we may not find any more diamonds. But like I said, we actually really want to get our hands on some more iron down here as well. And obviously, coal is never bad. We use quite a bit of it, especially this early on when we don't have ways to make ourselves fuel for different things automatically. So I'm going to go ahead and collect all of this coal, and we're going to move a little bit further down here. So we've moved back down below level 16 here. So we're back in diamond territory once again, and we're going to keep getting all of this coal and just collecting all of the materials that we really need. So far, this has been a pretty great experience down in the mine. I seem to pick a great spot, and somehow the area that we chose to dig from actually landed us straight on diamonds as soon as we came down. So that is pretty amazing. I'll go ahead and light that up so nothing spawns in there. It sounds like we found a little bit of gold in here, some more iron, and some redstone. So this is the water, by the looks of it, that we actually heard a little bit earlier. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to take a block of cobblestone here, and we're just going to block this off because we don't want it to mess with us. Now, this is obsidian. This is something that we can actually remove and use for later purposes. We're not going to go too deep into that today, but what we're going to do is we're going to show you guys why we brought the lava bucket. And you can see this pool of lava right here. Ideally, you wouldn't want to be digging this iron here right too close to the lava because lava is dangerous. And not only that, but if anything falls in the lava, it will get destroyed. So what we're going to do is we're going to stand a little bit back from the lava and we're going to place our bucket of water and pick it up. Afterwards, after it rolls over the lava, turning it all into obsidian, much like what has happened here because of the natural water that we just stopped. And this is going to allow us to safely pick up a little bit of iron ore here, as well as this little bit of redstone in the wall here. Very good. Alright, so I get this little bit of redstone here. Now, you need to be careful digging downwards around obsidian because there is a high chance that there could be more lava. Maybe there would be here. No, it doesn't look like it, but there is actually more iron ore. So digging down, you need to make sure that you never actually dig on the block you're standing on because you may very likely fall into lava, which could be very tragic, especially if you're like myself and you're walking around with diamonds on your person right now. So I'm not actually going to dig out that redstone right now because I don't want to risk falling into lava or anything. And we want to get our health, and we've found ourselves some gold. Now this is the first bit of gold that I've actually found naturally. Obviously the little bit of armor in that I have is from a chest that I found. And we got a bit more gold here as well as some lava. So what we're going to go ahead and do is place our bucket and cover up all that lava so we're a bit more safe. Light the area up again because we don't want any monsters spawning in here. And we'll go ahead and grab this gold. Now, it doesn't look like there's any more diamonds, unfortunately. But, you know, we're not really in any position to complain. We are going to be walking out of this cave with 6 diamonds after very little time already. And for those of you who are thinking about playing along with our series here on YouTube, what I might do is I'll actually go back to where we found the diamonds, which was just here. And I'll open up our coordinates here. And you guys can see we're at minus 2003, 11, and minus 1897. So if you're in a similar location to me, building alongside me at the village above, then you can dig straight down and find yourself some diamonds here. I'll have the seed for this world in the description of every video for this series. So if you want to join and play along, feel free to do so. You just have to throw in the seed when creating a new world, and you'll be able to find everything that I stumble upon in my series if you want to play along. So that's great. All right, well, we're heading back to the surface with our diamonds, a little bit of redstone, some gold, and a nice little chunk of iron ore as well. There's actually some iron here, so we're going to grab that as well. Not going to turn up any iron. Alright, it's only 2 blocks. Nothing special. But iron is iron, am I right? Alright, so that is great. We're going to exit here in our beautiful little mine shaft entrance that we created. It looks absolutely wonderful. Now, I would like to obviously spread this out a little bit and not make it look like a complete box. But for the time being, I think it looks great. We're actually going to pick up this crafting table here. And you know what? I'm not even actually going to pick it up. I'm just going to leave it there to despawn because I don't want it in my inventory. Don't need it right now. And it was just a bit of an eyesore there. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here, and this chest on the right hand side I've elected to put valuables in. So I'm going to go ahead and put my diamonds in there because I'm not actually going to use any of them just yet. Simply because we don't actually need them yet. Eventually we will craft them into stuff when we can enchant the things that we craft. And we may potentially need one for an enchanting table and things like that. But what we're going to do is we're going to actually smelt our iron ores that we just found. So we got a bunch of iron ore. I'm going to throw them into the smelters here. And then we got a little bit of gold ore as well. So I'm going to throw that in here. We have some smooth sandstone from earlier that I will throw away. And we're going to let those all cook. And then we have a bunch of cobblestone and gravel and things like that. So we're just going to go ahead and, fill these chests up with our random materials that we don't need. Bit of gravel, we were putting flint in here. Now, I understand that a lot of people may be not necessarily upset, but a little bit bugged by the fact that I don't actually have a house to put all of my storage in yet. That will be coming up very soon in the series. I will be building myself a house finally. But for the time being, we've been living out in the wilderness with our chests out in the open. But we are within the walls of our village, so I do feel quite safe here. As long as I don't forget to sleep and get attacked by phantoms in the night or anything like that. So we're pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and throw some more cobblestone away because I don't need any more. And yeah, we're pretty happy now. So we didn't have to end up crafting ourselves any more tools with the spare iron and wood that we bought. We actually found our diamonds pretty quickly. So I'm pretty stoked with how that went. So we got our iron and we got our gold cooking here. That's great. Those will be used in future builds. But for the time being, that's going to be it for this video today, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you are able to find yourself some diamonds in your own world using the same strategy as we did. And if you're playing on the same seed as me, you're welcome. I found you a nice little stack of 6 diamonds. So that was pretty great. I'd like to call that YouTuber RNG or streamer RNG, whatever you want to call it, because we somehow dug straight down into diamonds. I know it looks kind of staged, but that was just a complete fluke. I was fully prepared to be digging for quite some time for this video, but nevertheless, we did a good job. We got ourselves some diamonds, and yeah, that means that the next video, we don't have to be mining in our hole. We can go ahead and do a bit more work in our village, or who knows, maybe I'll even build myself a house finally. But until then, I'll see you guys in the next episode of the Prime Survival series. I've been Belamy, and I thank you for your patronage. Good night, everyone.